What kind of payback period would you have with an oil-based heating system in the countryside compared to installing a, air source or ground source heat pump?
I don't think that is a great question, but it's a very generic question, Toby, and therefore that's not something I could actually answer, because it depends highly on your house, the kind of insulation that you have. It depends on how big is the house, how many windows you have. I mean, it would be completely, whatever I say, it will just be completely off out of the air. So it's not something that unfortunately you can just put something like that. What I can talk about is the example of my own home where it all started really. So I live in the middle of the countryside, in the middle of what is called outside, on green space, on green land. And I live with I used to live with an oil tank, and I used to live with with lots of cows around me. The reality is that when we started looking at this, we didn't think we had solar panels installed because we thought that that was the way to go, but obviously it was not creating enough. And the oil bills were huge. We were talking about £12,000 a year on heating, on oil heating bills. And that's huge. I mean, if you think that the average family probably will spend about £3,000 or something like that a year, to have to pay £12,000, it's kind of like a massive one. So we started looking at, okay, then perhaps we go back to heating in different ways. We start using log burners because we had wood available. So let's just be more ecological about this. Let's just start doing. But then little by little, we realized that actually putting ground source heat pump was the actual solution to do these. The cost of installing the system was significantly high because it is a big system, but the payback that we had was because of the renewable heat incentive. Then we were able to recover the cost of the installation and make a profit of over £10,000, and that's within a 7-year period. So it is quite significant. You have 1 more year on the renewable heat incentive. And if you are able to get those heat pumps put into your buildings, then obviously the government is actually encouraging you to just do better. The problem that we have at the moment with those is even if you install them, the current EPCs does not recognize the effectiveness of heat pumps. So when it is very interesting that even though on the reality is that your heat pump is super effective, on paper, the EPC actually breaks them down than a traditional boiler.
Yes, because they're gas and EPCs from a world where, they're electric, and EPCs from a world where gas is more efficient than electric.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will catch up. Obviously, it will catch up.
Yeah, it will. I mean, and there is plans on within the government to actually change that, and there's a lot of energy groups actually lobbying to have this change, because this is madness. You have to take into account the effectiveness and how how much more advanced the pumps are compared to gas. So this is just madness, the fact that it's not recognized really. And this is Raquel Queral. If you have any more questions or want to know a little bit more about how we work and how we can potentially work together, just drop me an email at thegreenlandlady@gmail.com. Thank you very much and have a good evening.